This weekend, President Trump posted this to his Truth Social page. It's an AI-generated video that depicts a Fox News segment that never really aired, a segment that never existed. It featured an AI-generated version of Trump's own voice announcing a new government program for something called a MedBed, which will replace our current healthcare system altogether. But here's the thing. MedBeds don't exist. They are actually a QAnon conspiracy theory. The idea is that the government secretly has access to futuristic miracle beds that can cure all ailments and even do things like regrow limbs. Conspiracy theorists believe that JFK is actually still secretly alive, but you wouldn't recognize him because MedBeds not only healed him, but made him look remarkably youthful. Just to give you a sense on this conspiracy theory. The whole thing is completely cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, completely. And not only should the president have realized that because of, well, everything about it, obviously, but the president also should have realized that was not actually his voice in the video. He did not actually do an Oval Office address about MedBeds. But still, Trump posted that to his Truth Social page and then deleted it. Now, yesterday at the White House press briefing, Trump's press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, was asked the incredibly valid question of why Trump posted that video to begin with. And this is how she responded.
I think the president saw the video and posted it and then took it down. And he has the right to do that. It's his social media. He's incredibly transparent, as you all know. You hear from him directly on social media. He likes to share memes. He likes to share videos. He likes to repost things that he sees other people post on social media as well. And I think it's quite refreshing that we have a president who is so open and honest.
Doesn't quite answer the question on why her boss posted an AI-generated video that clearly wasn't his voice, right? I mean, last month on Fox News, Trump also proudly bragged that he ended a war between the nations of Azerbaijan and Albania, despite the fact that the two countries were never actually at war. About a week later, at a press conference with the Prime Minister of the UK, Trump made the same bizarre claim. Just to give you a sense of how weird that claim is, this is how far apart those countries are. You can see it on your screen right now. Albania and Azerbaijan are not and have never been at war, but they are now laughing at us. Here's the Prime Minister of Albania making fun of Trump with French President Macron and the President of Azerbaijan at an international summit today.
You should make an apology to us, because you didn't congratulate us for the peace deal that President Trump made between Albania and Azerbaijan.
I'm sorry for that.
Yeah. So, and you worked very hard.
All around the world, Trump is the butt of the joke. And it's a little less funny to many people living here. I mean, after President Trump called for cities like Chicago to be used as training grounds for the military on Tuesday, Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker said that he believes the time has come to invoke the 25th Amendment to get him removed from office. And earlier this week, Democratic Congresswoman Madeleine Dean confronted Mike Johnson, saying the president is unhinged and unwell. Watch this video closely, and you'll just notice how Johnson doesn't necessarily deny either statement. This is what I was talking about with Chris.
The president is unhinged. He is unwell. What are you doing?
A lot of folks on your side are, too. I don't control
Oh, my
them.
God, please. That performance in front of the generals, that
I didn't see it.
is so dangerous. You know I serve on Foreign Affairs and Appropriations. This is a collision of those two things. Our allies are looking elsewhere. Our enemies are laughing.
I just left
You
the
have a
speaker's,
president who is unwell.
They sure are. Starting us off tonight, it's Democratic Congresswoman Madeleine Dean of Pennsylvania. Congresswoman, it's great to see you. I just have to start with that moment between you and Mike Johnson, because it was just one exchange, but it really did seem emblematic of the moment we find ourselves in tonight. Why did you decide to confront him that way?
Well, you know, it was the very first day of the shutdown, and he is at the center of it. And so I saw the opportunity to speak to him, and he and I have conversations over the years. We served on Judiciary Committee together. So I had the moment to talk to him, and I really begged him to lead. I said, we desperately need you to lead. It is his opportunity and his responsibility. But the performance before the generals, the calling in of 800 generals, and the insulting, vain performance by Secretary Hegseth, and then the president's performance after it that was just utterly incoherent. It's alarming to me. You know, the clip you just showed of Macron and other world leaders, they're laughing. I'm not laughing. It is It's so worrisome. It is so dangerous. So I just wanted him to say that you must recognize, Mr. Speaker, that the president is both unhinged and unwell.
We begin this morning with the shutdown standoff now in its fourth day. Dueling short-term spending bills have failed in the Senate again yesterday, dragging the shutdown into next week. Plus, the House canceled votes for the next week and won't return until October 14th. More than 750,000 federal workers are currently on furlough, and President Trump has renewed threats that firings and project cuts could follow as the shutdown continues.
Well, there could be firings, and that's their fault. And it could also be other things. I mean, we could cut projects that they wanted, favorite projects, and they'd be permanently cut. So you could say, a lot of people are saying Trump wanted this, that I wanted this closing, and I didn't want it. But a lot of people are saying it because I'm allowed to cut things that should have never been approved in the first place.
In response, he didn't, at least in the video that we saw, you were in the conversation, didn't seem to say, no, he isn't. He kind of spit it back and said, you have unwell people on your side. What does that tell you?
Using the word too. Yeah, same on your side too. I think it's pretty obvious. He recognizes there's a problem, that the behavior of the president, we saw it, of course, in Trump 1, but it is markedly different this time around. It is more deteriorated. It is more incoherent. It's always self-serving. We have seen that in Mr. Trump for a very, very long time, I guess his whole life. But this is something I think very dangerous. And it was just a few days before he was on a different stage, on the UN stage, saying unbelievably incoherent and incorrect things. Obviously, complaining about an escalator and a teleprompter, paranoid about those things. The savior and solver of 7 wars. I don't know if you're aware of that, but just absolutely incoherent things. These are 2 very important stages. One staged for his purposes, his vain purposes, and the other the world stage. I am so desperately worried about our standing in the world. As somebody on the Foreign Affairs Committee, literally national leaders speak to us when we have traveled on bipartisan codels to Europe, to the Indo-Pacific, to say America is the indispensable nation. Can we count on you? It looks like the president is trying to take us off the world stage in terms of our credibility as the indispensable nation. I want the speaker to go to the president and say it's recognizable what you are doing and your deterioration. Others need to go around him and be honest with the president.
It's such an important point about how the world leaders and people in foreign capitals view the United States based on the president of the United States. It is, as you know well, and I'll just add to this, when there are meetings with the president of the United States, these leaders get memos and briefings on who they're going to be meeting with, what his vulnerabilities are. This is including with adversaries, right? How they can push him. And when they see someone on the world stage that is weak, that is incoherent at times, that is confusing, that isn't using facts, that weakens the U.S. standing. Let me ask you, I just wanted to echo that point. It's such an important one. Let me ask you, because as you noted, we're on day 2 of the government shutdown right now. People across the country are being impacted. As I've stated 1,000 times already in the last 2 days, this is about health care subsidies for the American people. That's what Democrats are standing up to extend. Mike Johnson, I don't want to take any blame off of him here at all. That's not what I'm trying to do. But he takes his direction from President Trump. And right now, it seems unclear, but I want to get your thoughts on kind of how we get an end to this when the person who's leading the White House, you described him as unwell. How do we get to the other side? Does he know how to get to the other side? Does he understand the issues? How do we get there?
I'm hoping there are some adults in the room who will say, actually, this is relatively simple. You are using this shutdown, and Vote is using this shutdown and others to cut health care away from Americans. You know, under the ACA, more than 20 million people have been able to access health care. The health outcomes are better. This continuing resolution, this failure to budget for more than a year, plus the big ugly bill, is just an attempt to rip health care away from those millions of Americans. And so how do we get out of this? I don't know. I do hope we have some leaders in the Senate who will meet up with Democratic leaders in the House, and that the Speaker might be a broker for this, I would wish, that would say, you know what, you're absolutely right. We gave permanent tax cuts to the wealthiest among us, blowing up our deficit. We do have to respond to the American people and make the ACA still affordable to millions of Americans who are just working people.
Trump is running the government into the ground because he is not mentally stable. That's the part people try to dodge, yet it's obvious. The shutdown is chaos, sure, but the bigger issue is the man at the center of it. He makes erratic choices, lashes out, forgets names, rambles about things that don't exist, and drags the country through the mess. The numbers tell the story. Americans blame Trump and Republicans by a 17-point margin. That is a landslide of frustration. It makes sense too. Republicans hold all the levers of power. They could end the shutdown tomorrow and reopen the government. They refuse because Trump refuses. He's not guided by strategy or principle. His mind is spiraling into paranoia and delusion, and his decisions show it. The proof is everywhere. He's posting AI-generated nonsense about miracle med beds and thinking that he's the one who said those things. He brags about stopping wars that never existed from countries that aren't near each other. He forgets who Hakeem Jeffries is just one day after meeting him. This doesn't qualify as normal leadership. It reveals a cognitive decline on full display. Sound familiar? Governors are openly calling for the 25th Amendment even, and even Republicans are avoiding defending him directly. They're hiding behind vague lines about him being misunderstood or different or trolling. When allies walk on eggshells to avoid admitting what's wrong, the truth becomes undeniable. Meanwhile, ordinary people pay the price for his unraveling. 750,000 federal workers are furloughed. Families losing healthcare, infrastructure projects in cities like Chicago and New York freeze, not because of budgets, but because Trump wants revenge on the places that voted against him. That has nothing to do with real governing. That is a reflection of one man's mental state bleeding into national policy. The White House has turned into a platform for his personal vendettas. The danger extends far beyond the shutdown, too. America is being run by someone unstable who put other unstable people in power, and he is someone who uses power as a weapon against anyone who crosses him. Trump is not executing strategy that's good for this country. He is a man unraveling in real time. Every day the government stays closed adds to the proof of how far he's fallen and how unwilling Republicans remain to face it. The real question is no longer even about fitness for office. Each week adds new evidence that he is not fit. The only question left is how much longer America can afford the damage of letting a man in that mental freefall hold the reins of power.